Now to Burundi, where protesters clashed with police on Monday in the capital Bujumbura following the killing of opposition leader Zedi Feruzi, was shot dead on Saturday by an unidentified gunman. Supporters of the Burundian opposition leader Zedi Feruzi hoisted his coffin and carried it through Bujumbura on Sunday, a day after he and his bodyguards were shot dead near his home. Those mourning his death carried signs condemning his killing. After Feruzi's death, opposition leader Frederick Bamvugi Nyumvira said they could not continue with a United Nations-sponsored dialogue aimed at ending the country's unrest.
Nous avons décidé de laisser tomber ces négociations parce que
We have decided to leave the negotiations because they are of no use. Today, the most urgent thing is to cease the killings we are seeing and the organized assassination of opposition leaders.
Feruzi was opposed to President Pierre Nkurunziza's bid for a third term. Nkurunziza's decision to run again in presidential elections has sparked the worst crisis since an ethnically charged civil war ended in 2005. With Feruzi's death, many fear the conflict is likely to get worse. The United Nations, the European Union, and African nations urged Burundi's government and the opposition on Sunday not to let the violence derail the dialogue. Now, for more on the ongoing political unrest in Burundi, Karenga Ramadan, a member of parliament of the ruling CNDD-FDD, joins us via Skype, via phone from Rumonge in Burundi. Mr. Ramadan, welcome to Africa 54. And
Thank you very much.
Yes, first, let's talk about this killing over the weekend. Really, you're a member of the ruling party. How does this play out for you guys? What do you make of it?
In fact, people are trying to find an outcome of this problem. And first of all, as you have heard, there is an initiative which was launched last week so that there can be a dialogue between all political parties involved in the process. And unfortunately, because of this killing, and some of the parties have withdrawn from that process.
Now you know that many are suspecting that perhaps the ruling party has a hand in this killing.
This is what you say, because the reality in Burundi, we are used to what people talk, they say that and that. You can ask why the government or the ruling party could be behind that, what was or what would be the advantage, what would be the gains in being involved in that assassination. What I know is that Zaidi was a friend of mine, and I know him very well than ever. And he was not really a threat at all to the government of Burundi, so that he can be involved in that.
Now, Karenga, just in as few words as you can you explain to us why we have this crisis where hundreds of thousands have left, or rather at least over 100,000 people have left the country, and we have all these sustained demonstrations on the streets of Bujumbura?
My friend, when we are talking about 100, myself, I'm a product of the refugee of Burundi. I've been really being a refugee for many years, and I've been outside for many years, for more than 25 years. When we are talking about hundreds, I remember in 1972, in 1999, there were more than 1 million who brought across the border of Congo, Tanzania, and Rwanda, feeling the atrocities. But what is behind this problem, my friend, is that there is a political dispute on the interpretation of the Constitution. This is the problem here in Burundi, because the Constitution has got some loopholes which are making now difficult for those who are supporting the so-called demonstration against the third mandate, and others who are saying the current president, the incumbent president, has got the right to continue. This is really the problem. It's much more political than ethnicity or whatsoever. It's really the interpretation of the Constitution.
Okay, and we'll follow up with you in the coming days to see how best the different parties are going to resolve this issue. Mr. Ramadan, thank you very much for joining us today.